Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are watching from. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your favorite Psycho Way Out Clinic with Dr. Shide Sunday, a clinical psychologist. Today we are going to dive into an important topic: 6 psychological self-medication techniques to stop wickedness. It will interest you that the term wickedness has become an attracting term in every given society, with people acknowledging or identifying few as wicked. Some will say my staffs are wicked. Some will say my husband is wicked. My wife is wicked. My parents are wicked. Some will say my boss is a wicked person. Some will say my business partner is a wicked person. It even went as far as people identifying themselves as wicked people. You hear people saying, "Do you know me? I'm a wicked type. You don't joke with me because by the time I'm done with you, you will learn your lesson." So this term wickedness has really attracted attention of people. It comes with a lot of stereotypes that some people even identify themselves as wicked, but trying to stop the act that will qualify them as wicked become a difficulty. The question is, what is wickedness? Wickedness can simply be referred as any act or behavior considered morally wrong. In general term, we'll look at wickedness as any act that cause harm to others, any act that cause unpleasant or painful experience to others. When your behavior lead to others feeling unpleasant, feeling pain, feeling harm, causing trouble to others' life, we now term that as wickedness. And in most cases, even those that their behavior or their action cause harm to others in one way or the other, some of them regret their action, some of them their secret feel that no, I wouldn't have acted in that manner. But in most cases, the impulses become very difficult to control when it is time to act this. So we are going to look at 6 psychological self-medication techniques that you on your own can adopt to overcome the act of wickedness. But before then, I want us to consider what are the common causes of wickedness. We're going to look at 5 simple causes of wickedness. The first one is narcissistic tendencies. Narcissistic tendencies has to do with lack of empathy. In most cases, people find it difficult to empathize with others. You are slapping your fellow human being without considering how you will feel. Your action is causing pain in your neighbor. Your action is causing pain to your subordinates in the office. Your action is causing pain to your boss in the office. Your action is causing pain, causing harmful experience to your superior in the office, or to your colleagues in the office, or to your business partner in the market, without considering how, if that same action is taken against you, how you will feel. First, it's Machiavellian trait. Machiavellian trait has to do with manipulation and exploitation of others for personal gain. There are people that cause harm, cause pain, cause unpleasant feelings to others, which is termed as wickedness, because of exploitation, because of manipulation, because of personal gain, without considering how others will feel. What just necessitates or what just make them to act the way they are acting is because of manipulative tendencies, because of selfishness, it's because of personal gain and nothing else. The third cause of wickedness is trauma and attachment issue. Now, this has to do with an unresolved previous experience. In a situation where people previously experienced pain, experienced unpleasant treatment, have a kind of harmful previous experience, and because of that, they develop a kind of self-revenge, they develop a kind of hatred, they project a kind of negative attachment towards others. Anytime they come in contact with people, they just feel like these people, if not treated in an unpleasant manner, they may do them the same unresolved experience they have from their previous or their childhood experience. Just like in some psychological school of thought, psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud gave those unresolved childhood experience. So trauma and attachment align with that school of thought, whereby people become wicked because of the previous experience. Maybe they have been wicked by a person previously, maybe they have been malhandled, maltreated by someone before, and in like revenge, in like retaliation, in like reprisal kind of attitude, they tend to now replicate their experience by treating others in an unpleasant manner. The fourth cause of wickedness is dark trade tendencies. Dark trade tendencies has to do with a kind of combination of lack of empathy, manipulation, selfishness, and unpleasant treatment to others. This is a type of wickedness that explains how people derive pleasure when pushing or when their action led others to an unpleasant or painful or harmful experience. They are happy to see that others are not happy, others are under intense pain, others are being harmed by their own attitude. We call that dark trade tendencies. The fifth and the last causes we are considering here is the learned behavior. Now, you know, from the behavioral school of thought of psychology, we believe that every behavior you see people exhibiting, they must have learned it. And in this case, the wickedness can also be learned by mere seeing others acting in the way they are acting, irrespective of how they cause pain in others, how they cause tears in others, how they make people feel unpleasant, how they harm their action, lead to others being harmed, feeling of harm. You just see people learning to act in that way. So that also is considered as one of the causes of wickedness, where people learn to act the way they act, irrespective of how their action is going to affect others. And we term them in the society as wicked. Now we dive into the 6 psychological self-medication techniques to stop wickedness. And I want you to pay attention to get this, because many know that they are wicked and others know that people around them are wicked. That is why it's very, very important that if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do that now so that you'll be notified of similar videos. Please share it so that as many that will come in contact of this video may not need others to advise them that stop your wickedness, but they can self-medicate themselves using these 6 psychological techniques. The first technique I'm giving here is self-acceptance or self-reflection. You have to accept the fact that my action is unpleasant. My actions are causing harm to others. My actions are painful to others. You have to reflect on yourself. You have to now accept the fact that yes, there are some of my actions that are very, very painful to others. There are some of my actions that are morally wrong to treat human beings in that manner. Then the second technique is empathy building. You have to build empathy. You have to start entering other people's shoes. Begin to reflect on, if this kind of action is taken against me, how can I feel? Begin to be realistic to yourself. Begin to reflect on every of your action that you take or you exhibit against other people. Begin to turn it to yourself and imagine that if this action is taken against me, how am I going to feel? Am I going to be happy or am I going to be sad? Am I going to find it pleasant? The third psychological techniques is find new vibe. You have to find new vibes. Stop going to places. When you go, you will be reflecting on things that can stimulate or sustain that unpleasant treatment to others. Start getting closer to new activities, new locations, new places, new friends, so that you will start replacing that unpleasant kind of feelings with new vibes. Even though you may have some places like places of work, your places of business that is like mandatory for you to be there for your life sustainer, but while there, you have to also reflect on new friends. There are people that sometimes you align with them because of your kind of attitude, and for you now to get out of it, you need to like distance yourself from some people with similar kind of behavior, so that their kind of behavior will not continue to re-energize your decision to wave out of that unpleasant kind of treatment to others. Positive influence. Now try to find people that are mostly ahead of you and can easily influence you positively. People you can listen to, people that you can model from them. They are kind of good behavior attitude. People you trust, people that can hardly betray trust, people that can change your mindset, people that can guide you. Start getting closer to people that are ahead of you that can easily influence you. That is why it's important you establish positive influence, whereby the new association will be people that are ahead of you in both positive positive and kind treatments to others. From there, you will begin to energize new kind of behavior that will not be harmful to others, that will not be painful to others, that will not cause trouble in others, that will not cause an unpleasant state of mind to people. The fifth point is self-care. You need to eat. You need to start eating. Eat enough. Take water. Drink water enough. Take fruit, vegetables, things that can build your immune system, things that can make your body to be okay in terms of health, can support your health. And the higher your health, the better it is for the mental health, and the better it is for you to take new decisions, because you are migrating from a kind of attitude, behavior, a kind of way of behavior to a new one. So it requires your body to be in good state. It requires more of hormonal activities in your system. It requires more of neural interventions in areas of like unpleasant physiological reactions within you, by eating enough, by drinking water needed for the body, by taking good care of yourself at the moment. The body will find it easy to adapt to the new decision you are taking, new state, and your perceptual capacity will improve, and you discover that you will not be struggling between the pathological, physiological, and other psychological tendencies because of your new desire to assume a kind of new life. And the last point I want us to look at is counseling and psychotherapy. You may seek for a professional intervention whereby a psychologist will condition you, give you some schedule of activities, work on your cognitive state to begin to now accept some new decisions in the way and manner you relate with people, more especially the majority, the class of people that feel your attitude is bad, because in most cases, we ourselves know when our attitude is unpleasant to others. If some don't tell us to our faces, others will tell to others that later we'll hear, and people say, you are wicked, I'm wicked, we are wicked. So by finding a professional, a psychotherapist, a professional, a certified psychologist, he will condition you, he will guide you, he will counsel you, he will carry out some psychotherapy that will give you good way out, a good clear direction that you can take, and then take care of the treatment, psychological intervention, without having any reverse. If you are just joining us, this is Psycho Way Out Clinic with Dr. Shide Sunday, and in case you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe now so that you can have this or similar videos whenever we upload. Once again, the topic today is 6 psychological self-medication techniques to stop wickedness. We're able to look at concept or the topic wickedness as a toxic behavior, a kind of treatment that is morally wrong, a kind of attitude that causes harmful feeling to others, that make others to feel pain, that causes an unpleasant kind of feeling in others. And we said many people are timed to be wicked. Some even identify by themselves that they are wicked, and some are even trying and struggling to overcome the wickedness, but still unable to stop those attitudes that cause pain in others. And today we are looking at that. And before we dive into the 6 psychological techniques to stop the wickedness, we first consider simple causes of wickedness. We say the first one is narcissistic tendency, which has to do with lack of empathy, where people don't feel what others feel. What they just have is to behave the way they behave, irrespective of how others feel or the consequences of their behavior. We also look at Machiavellian traits, whereby people are manipulative, people are self-centered, people are exploitative from others. So long as they can just gain their gain, so long as they can achieve what they want to achieve, they don't mind the consequences of how others will feel. We also look at one of the causes as trauma or attachment issue, whereby people treat others in an unpleasant way because of the previous unpleasant experience they have, because of the way they were maltreated before. That unresolved feeling, they transfer it and then continue to treat people in an unpleasant manner. We also look at another cause as dark hatred, which has to do with the selfishness, has to do with the gain, the pleasure people derive from causing others feel pain. We look at that as also the manipulation, lack of empathy. The dark trait has to do with why tendencies or reason why people become wicked in a situation, by deriving joy in seeing others in pain, deriving joy in seeing others crying, deriving joy in seeing others tears. And we also say learned behavior can also lead to wickedness. Some people learn wickedness from what they see, what what they learn, what they observe. They just born and brought up around a parent that don't care of how others feel, or walk around bosses that are very, very wicked, or walk around people that are so heartless to cause pain and harmful experience feelings to others. So from that, they develop a kind of behavior that we term it under learned behavior. And in summary, we also look at these 6 techniques to overcome wickedness. It can be by yourself. You can share this video to help somebody you know is suffering from this, because it's truly a psychological problem. We say the first technique, psychological techniques for this self-medication is what? Acceptance. First, you have to reflect on yourself, self-reflection, to accept that yes, I'm wicked, I have wicked tendencies, or there are some of my behavior that cause unpleasant feelings in others. And after accepting, then you move into empathy building. You start building empathy, start feeling others' pain, start diving into other people's shoes, start feeling if I'm being treated the way I treat others, how am I going to feel? Then from there, you start finding new vibe. That is finding new location, new environment, new friends, new activities that will reduce your long-time fixation to wicked tendencies by bringing new ideas, new friends, new faces, new stimulus around you above the norms or above the previous experience. What happens is you start building new vibe, and with your decision, with your acceptance, with your empathetic tendencies, you see how it becomes easy for you to overcome the wicked tendencies in you. And then the second to the last point is the positive influence. Identify people that can influence your life positively. Identify people that stand as model for being kind, being good to others. Then we have self-care, whereby you need to eat well, take care of yourself, drink enough water, take fruit, vegetables, and things that can build your immune system and encourage the improvement of hormonal and neural activities in your system. And the final one is therapy, psychotherapy, and counseling. Employ or contact specialists, a psychotherapist who will guide you on how to overcome other issues that may predispose you to wicked tendencies. Thank you for watching, and continue to share this video, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you and bye.